Hi guys, I wanted to do a video kind of explaining my why of why I'm a Beachbody coach. This has been something that has been super eye-opening is to watch others. Why? Because they're all different. Yet I've kind of noticed there's kind of a common theme of trying to better themselves. And so I'm going to give you a little background of my story and where I was 6 months ago, which is crazy. And if I get emotional, I'm sorry. Okay, so 6 months ago, I had just had my fourth baby. He like a year ago, so he was 9 months old at the time. And I gain weight when I nurse, which is super discouraging to me. Anyway, so I was in a really low place. I just felt completely trapped, and I didn't recognize myself. And I know it sounds really kind of shallow, but when you feel totally different on the outside as you do on the inside, it affects the two. There's like just this disconnect, and I didn't feel like me. And I was stressed about a lot of things, and I had become really negative. Sorry. And one of the things that supposedly my husband loved about me when we were dating and first married was my positivity. And we joke that he used to be the pessimist and I was the optimist, and we've like flopped places. And I hated that. I hated that I was so bitter all the time. And when you feel bad about yourself, that carries over into all areas of your life. And that was me. I was super stressed financially. My husband works his butt off to try and make ends meet, yet we were barely skimming by. And that frustrated me even more. So I was in this place that I didn't recognize. And I hated it. I would go to bed mad, and I would wake up. I would go to bed like so frustrated with my kids, and I would wake up frustrated with them. And it was horrible. Anyway, before, like back in November and December, I had been watching my coach, Micah Folsom. I had never met her in real life. We worked together doing some photography stuff. And I had been watching her for a year and a half, and she posted like just constantly about her journey. And she was always in shape to begin with, but I've never been an exerciser or a worker outer. Like, honestly, that was like my form of personal torture. I danced my whole life, and so I never exercised, and so that was foreign to me. But seeing her post every day that she was exercising at home and it was easy, that kind of actually slightly motivated me, and I kind of was curious. So I watched her for a year and a half, and in November of last year, in December, when I was super, super desperate and frustrated, I decided, I started talking to my husband. I'm like, I think I want to talk to Micah and find out what she's doing. And she had mentioned, how much it's blessed her life to be a coach. And I didn't know a lot, but I knew that she had quit her job. So to me, it was clearly doing something. I mean, she was a fabulous photographer, still is, and she quit that. So that's really when it like caught my attention, because I needed some accountability and I needed some motivation. And I thought, well, if she can coach and that would keep her accountable and possibly make money at the same time, I'm going to see what this is all about. And so we couldn't afford it before Christmas, because, I mean, come on, you can't afford anything around Christmas. And so January came, and the stress got too much for me. I was watching my niece, and I couldn't do that anymore. I kind of felt like I was crumbling, like my world was falling apart. And I needed that money that I was making from watching my niece, but now I didn't even have that. So it was like I replaced one stress in hopes of helping balance my life and have more time with my family, and I replaced it with financial burden, which was already burdening me. And so I was kind of freaking out. Like, I needed to figure something out fast. And I had thought of doing like a children's choir and going and working on my husband's days off, but that was not fixing the issue. I needed more time. I needed more time with my husband and more time with my kids. And going elsewhere was not going to fix that. So January came around, and I talked to Micah, and she put me into a sneak peek into coaching group, and I fell in love with the idea. And it was not salesy, and it wasn't icky and slimy and gross. Like, it was super motivating. Like, I felt like I could possibly help people. And I didn't even know what I was doing. I've never exercised a day in my life, but it just felt right. There was something that felt right, and I had been praying and praying and praying and praying for something to come along to help us and to help me crawl out of my dark place. And I jumped out of that sneak peek group and jumped right into coaching. And in fact, I couldn't even buy my first challenge pack. My mom had to buy it for me. And so I lined up enough challenge pack sales that I could pay her back. And then I knew I had to make a certain amount of money every month so that I could replace the income I had when I nannied my niece. And so I had a goal right out the gate. And my husband jumped in with me, which made all the difference. So it went from doing something alone to it became a team effort. So I ordered 21 Day Fix because it sounded amazing and taught you how to eat right, which I knew how to do from a nutritionist, and this plan was amazing because it was just like that. I paid tons more money for it, but it had more options, more food options, and then it came with a 30-minute workout program, which I knew I needed. And then it came with Shakeology, and I fell in love. But I thought, well, this is fun. I'm going to enjoy this 1 month of Shakeology that I got with my challenge pack because I can't afford this stuff. And about a week in, I was like, I'm not sharing any more Shakeology with you. And so I bought my husband his own bag. And now I had to up my game. And I instantly felt better with Shakeology. I didn't go to bed tired and wake up tired. I was making it through the day. There was one time when Luke was sick, and I literally didn't sleep all night because he couldn't breathe. And we were selling our home, and I had to go and sign papers. It was in a totally different city, so having a nap that day was not an option. And I made it the entire day without a nap. I didn't fall asleep in the car. I didn't feel tired. Like, it was insane. And that for me was when I really started to notice how much better I felt on Shakeology. My body was being properly, getting the nutrients it needed so that I wasn't craving stuff, I wasn't eating horrible, and I was having energy maintained all the day. So Greg jumped in with 21 Day Fix with me, and we started working out every day together. And we started planning our meals together, and it just flipped. I just kind of felt like that was what we needed as a couple. We needed something to bring us together rather than all a billion things we needed to do tearing us apart. And so it was awesome to feel like that connection again. And then just being a coach totally helped me have something to look forward to. It was my out as a mom. Gosh, I did not plan on crying this much. Anyway, I had become lost in mommyhood. I didn't know who I was anymore. People would be like, oh, what do you like to do? I'm like, I don't have any idea. I don't even know what I like to do anymore. My husband's schedule is not normal, and we kind of felt isolated that way anyway, because when people are doing things with other couples, he's working. And so, all these things just kept, I just had all these walls that I felt like were blocking me from other people, and I needed that connection. Anyway, so I jumped in and I did this, and all of a sudden people were asking me what I was doing, and they were jumping in and they were trusting me, and that was so huge for me. And those relationships that I've always loved were reconnected, and it meant so much. And that's been the biggest change for me and why I coach. I know what it feels like to feel like you're just lost. feel like you don't have a way out. Holy Hannah, it's bad. I hated that feeling, and I wouldn't wish it on anybody. And I want people to know that there is so much to coaching. It's not just selling and making money. That is like a perk that comes along naturally. It's about forming relationships and building those relationships and helping people and getting them out of their dark places and being that person that can say, you can do this, I believe in you, because everybody needs someone. And that is kind of my why. I am incredibly grateful for my coach for sharing. I know that this can be like overwhelming, and if you don't understand what it is, it kind of gets a little annoying, I'm sure. But it's been such a life changer for me to think back 6 months ago to where I was. I don't even recognize that person, and I didn't even know how bad I was until I see where I am now. I knew I was struggling, but I didn't know the voids I was missing until they were filled. And now that I feel like I can help people out of that same rut that I was in, I will do this for the rest of my life, because we need those people. You never know when you're going to be someone's savior. So even though this may seem like I don't have any idea what that has to do with coaching, this is what coaching is. It is helping others. It is helping them step out of their comfort zone to make that change to better their life. And that's why I'm a coach. Yeah, I'm just incredibly grateful. And I'm so happy to have the relationships that I have now with my coaches and my challengers, because it gives me that connection that I needed. And it doesn't have to be in person or around my husband's schedule. It's something I can do always. And I'm eternally grateful. And so that, I guess, is my sappy, sobby why. So if you're interested at all to know more, I would love to give you more info on my story, some of my coaches' stories, or why we're doing this. Just feel free to message me. But yeah, this has been life-changing, and I am eternally grateful.